Welcome and welcome back. My name is Neema, and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, feminine essence, feminine energy, self-love and development, travel, and what else? Thriving in your single season, which is exactly what this video is about today. Thriving in your single season. And the title of this video is really something that has I think my eyes have been opened to for the past, I would say, even year thereabouts. And it's just honestly just on this journey, right? On this journey of, just doing my inner work and leveling up mentally, emotionally, and just, getting more in touch with my authenticity just as a woman, and just, coming into the space where it's like, okay, this is who I really am, and this is who I always was, but this is also, the woman that I'm becoming, and this is who I want to be, and all of those beautiful, amazing things that we talk about on this channel, just with inner work and, feminine essence and feminine energy, and kind of just that unlearning, right? And what I'll say is this: I do believe that there is a level of healing, inner work, and just mindset shifts that do need to happen for a woman and a man. Men too, they're not excluded from this, but you do have to be kind of like emotionally and mentally in a good place and in a healthy place in order to have a healthy relationship, and to have a great relationship where, you guys are aligned, things are coming together like this, the dynamics are fire, the polarity is there, and you have that consciousness. And I think that that's honestly the best word to kind of encapsulate what I'm trying to say right now, is like the consciousness level, right? Which I'm gonna say this, like, a lot of people don't have, right? Especially in today's society where we've got, all of this gender warring and all of this crazy stuff going on, mostly on social media, but even in the real, like, dating streets, right? But we're not gonna get super into that. I mostly want to talk about, just the fact that as women especially, we do a lot of this inner work, and we do a lot of healing work, and we do a lot of just self-development, and a lot of us, like, we always want to learn, we always want to grow, we always want to find ways to just enrich the relationships in our lives, and especially our romantic relationships. And that really is the feminine domain in our world, and that's how God created us. Is we are the ones who nurture the relationships in this world. It's women who really, really take the domain on that. Like, you really do, as a woman, set the tone for your relationship. And I know that that may be triggering to hear, because sometimes we want to play the blame game, right? And that's fine. Like, there are certain men that, hey, you can't be with them and be in a healthy relationship because they don't know how to handle you. And that, I mean, hey, I've been there. And I think a lot of women have. And hey, that's fair. But that doesn't change who you are, the essence of who you are, and the nature of who you are, right? So as women, we always want to nurture our relationships. We always are looking to find better ways to connect. We're always, and you see that a lot of the marketing out there, a lot of the self-development out there is really targeted towards women and girls. Because we are the ones who have that domain in this world. We nurture relationships, and we are the ones who set the tone for the relationships that we have, especially those romantic relationships. And so when you kind of like know the power that you have, it becomes a lot easier to see certain outcomes that you want, because you learn. And I'm just gonna kind of leave that at that, because y'all know I can go off on a tangent. But even with that, all that being said, right? We're women, we're nurturers, we are relationship builders, we are the glue of our communities, all of those beautiful and wonderful things. We cannot, and this goes for both parties, we can never be 100% healed and ready and just fully perfect, right? Like we've gotten rid of all of our traumas and we've healed and we've leveled up and we've gotten to this amazing point in our lives where we're just so spiritual and we're just so aligned and we're just so perfect, right? And now we're ready for a relationship, right? Or you may be in your single season like, you know what, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. I just need to take some time to myself. I need to heal. I need to, do this work. I need to find myself. You know how people talk. And honestly, I mean, you don't hear men talking like that, that's for sure. But as a woman, that is very common. Like we've all had a friend or a family member or a woman that we worked with or whatever talk like that. And that's fair. Of course, you need some time after a heartbreak or after a relationship ended to really just like collect yourself for a minute. But I think you really do a disservice. And you kind of are using that as a scapegoat or as a, almost like a cop-out, right? When you just are in your single season and you claim that you are in healing mode. Like, I just need to heal. I just need to do this. I just need to get myself to this point. I need to do this course. I just need to pray. I just need to get myself in whatever it is that you need to do for your own personal inner work or healing to be quote unquote ready, right? Or to be quote unquote healed enough for a relationship. And I just want to come on to say, and it was on my heart today, there's no such thing. There's literally no such thing. And in your single season, I don't know why my words are getting all jumbled up today, but in your single season, you will be able to grow. I'm not saying you won't. You will be able to heal, right? If you're doing all the things that you should do, you will be able to, understand and learn from your past mistakes and, not make those mistakes again and just kind of grow and all of those beautiful, amazing things. But that still doesn't mean that things won't come up. That still doesn't mean you're not going to be triggered anymore. That still doesn't mean that, you're 100% ready or you're 100% healed and you're not going to have any issues when you get in a relationship with this ideal person, this ideal man, this ideal partner. Men too, they deal with a lot of the same things that I'm talking about, right? But you're never gonna be 100% perfect. We were never made to be perfect. And hey, like we're all human beings. We've all had a past. We've all had situations that we've been through. We've all had people that have hurt us, whether they're just family members, romantic relationships, friendships. We've all been through something, okay? And you don't have to let that hold you back, but also understanding that we're not waiting. We're not waiting to be these perfect people. We're not waiting to heal it up until we get to be like this level, like this amazing level where like nothing can hurt us and nobody can come and like, you know what I'm saying? There's no, that doesn't exist. That's like nothing. Like that literally doesn't exist. And I think that sometimes, just in talking with women, it's like, oh, well, I'm just trying to get myself together. Or I'm just healing. I'm just trying to, wait on God. I'm, hey, I hear you on the waiting on God thing. But at the same time, I feel like when you hear women talk like that in the sense of like saying, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship yet. I'm not ready for a relationship yet. I'm just healing or I'm just not ready. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Like, don't do that to yourself. And I don't know how else to express this, but you will never be 100% ready. And let me tell you this, when you get into a relationship, and this is something else that I've also had an understanding of, along with what I just shared with you about just you're never going to be 100% ready. You're never going to be 100% healed in order to like achieve this perfect relationship or this ideal partner relationship, right? You can get to a point where you are in a good and healthy space, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to run into, like I said before, triggers and, you know, disagreements and, you know, doubts and all of the things that come up because we're human. We've been through stuff. We are tainted, right? But I do want to say this, and I got a little off track. I think that that's the beautiful thing, is when you are able to kind of just in your healthy state, yes, but you still have your triggers, you still are tainted, you don't know what's coming. That's another thing. You don't know what's coming in the, you know, ahead of you. Once you get into this relationship, like, you don't know what this person or what conversations or what experiences that you'll necessarily have that could potentially trigger you or take you back to a space where you are either doubting them, doubting the relationship, doubting yourself, feeling insecure, or, you know, just not feeling safe or not feeling seen, or, you know, just all of these different things, right? Like, it doesn't end in your single season is what I'm trying to say. This thing right here, this level of this inner work, this healing journey, whatever it is you want to call it, this thing is for life. You are doing this for life, and it will get easier. You will get to a point where you will be able to feel those triggers coming up, and you'll be able to calm yourself down, kind of like self-soothe yourself, and not allow your past and your just like past negative experiences, your triggers, your thoughts, your negative thoughts to kind of like take over, and for you to emotionally kind of get charged up and respond in like a really negative and like emotional way, right? That's emotional intelligence as well. That's a part of it, right? But that will get easier with time. But all I'm saying is, there is no necessarily like a threshold to say like, oh, I'm perfectly ready now, or I'm perfectly healed now, or now is the time. And when you meet that person, they're also going to have their stuff too. And being able to kind of come together, and that's what I was saying before when I lost my train of thought. It's kind of beautiful when two people can come together, and he has his stuff and you have your stuff, and you guys are able to come together, and in that space, in that container of a relationship, that's where I will say a bulk of that kind of like relationship healing and inner work takes place. When that relationship is healthy and safe, and it's a container where it's you two. And Steve Harvey, y'all know I love Steve Harvey now. That's my Uncle Steve. He even said, when you are in a marriage, right, you are basically forming a two-handed circle or a four-handed circle, right? You're holding hands with them like this, and they're holding hands with you like this, and you guys are locked in. You're locked in. It's you. And within that circle, don't let anybody come into that circle. That is your container. You know, and Nina's the one who actually uses the term container, which I love, totally taking that from her. But that container is where all the magic happens. That's where all the sauce is, okay? That's where you can be vulnerable. That's where he can be vulnerable. That's where you guys can have your fights and have your triggered moments, and know that you are in a safe space, and it's okay for you to express that. It's okay for you to go through that, and it's okay for you to then heal from it, level up from it, and start to build some real trust. Start to build some real security and safety in that union. And I just love that analogy of the two-handed circle, because it's true. And there are so many people and so many elements in life that come in, and they want to get into that two-handed circle that you formed with your person, your partner, right? They want to infiltrate it. They want to mess y'all up. They want to come into your lives, and they want to, you know, start wreaking havoc. And, you know, but it's up to you. It's up to you to let them in. You know, when you let other people in, and I've heard it so many times, family members, whether it be mothers, sisters, mother-in-laws, you know, friends, just random people, neighbors, what have you, coming into people's marriages, people's relationships, and just completely wreaking havoc. But guess what? they were not holding two-handed circle. So this is where the breakdown of a lot of relationships happens, right? And I think that that's one positive thing, really positive thing that anyone can do when you are in your single season, is to learn about relationship dynamics. And I have said it a million times on this channel. Learning about relationship dynamics is one of the best uses of your time before you get married in your single season. Learn about men, learn about women, men. Because I know I have some men that watch this channel, even though this channel's for women and I say it all the time, but all are welcome. I don't even care, because I think that at the end of the day, information is information. And I mostly watch women content creators on YouTube and on social media, but you know, there's some good men out there who are also, you know, giving some great insight and some great advice, and just giving out some great information. And I think that that's really important. Like, as a man, understanding women, what do women prioritize in a partner? Like, what is important to them? Because again, men and women are different, despite what society says, okay? Don't believe that crap. Like, learn about men, learn what it really means, and what men really value in a relationship from women. Like, learn about that, because it's different for us as women and it's different for them as men. And you may think that you know, right? Because you know what you like, and you know what makes you feel loved and appreciated and all of those things. You and a man are not the same. You are not the same. Now, of course, we are similar in some ways, right? Like, we are. But there's so many ways that we're different, and drastic ways that we're different, that you do yourself a disservice when you don't take the time to learn about polarity and to learn about relationship dynamics, and about how men view love and relationships and how women view love and relationships. Even as a woman, again, you might think you know, because you know what you like, and you do know internally, like, and subconsciously you do know. But because of all of the societal brainwashing, because of the just, I don't want to use this word, but I'll say programming, okay? Programming, because of all of the things in the media and all of the images, and just you know, so many different things that we have literally been taking in since we were kids. You know, if you're a millennial or a Gen Z watching this, like, well, Gen Z, you have it even worse. I'm kind of, okay, so I'm a millennial, but I'm kind of a little bit on the cusp, a little bit. Like, I know some people my age, or maybe like a year younger, that are totally more Gen Z. I'm a millennial, like diehard millennial, but there are some millennials, like people that are my age, maybe even like a year younger or older or whatever, that they're giving like more Gen Z feels. I don't know, it's super weird, but that's a different topic for a different day. If you're in that age range though, you know, like, the way that we grew up, and the types of movies and TV shows, and just the content and things that we were exposed to from such a young age, like, you know, it leaves an imprint on you, not to mention the relationships and, you know, lack thereof that you witnessed in your own communities. And, you know, being Black and being a Black girl, now a Black woman, you know, there's a lot to be said for us in that department. And thankfully, I will say, I do feel like a lot of single motherhood and just singleness, even though of course the statistics are still showing that we're in the lead for that one. I will say that I do feel like it is getting better. It is getting better to a certain extent. And I think that just a lot of more women are kind of waking up. We're waking up, we are changing our ways. We are, you know, not allowing men to treat us certain ways anymore. We are learning from our mother's mistakes and our aunt's mistakes and our sister's mistakes, and we are trying to do better. We're not settling. We are really, really exploring our options, right? We are opening ourselves up to better, to more, to a better life. And that is very, very inspiring. So I just wanted to say that, honestly. There is no perfect person. There is no perfect relationship. But stop waiting around. Stop saying, oh, well, you know, I'm just not ready, or I'm healing right now. Like, honestly, you're copping out. Stop. And again, like, I get it to a certain degree. If you really just, you know, need a couple of months to just like do you, not think about dating, not think about even entertaining being in another relationship or anything like that, because you just got out of something crazy. Even if you want to take a year, totally get that. I'm going to say, I don't know how anybody would feel about this, but I'm going to say after a year, like, you need to just, yeah, you need to start opening yourself up to the idea again, if you ask me, because this is a problem that a lot of women run into. They can never let go of that man that hurt them, or that past relationship that just tarnished them, where they gave all their love to this person who probably didn't even deserve even half of it or a quarter of it. And that person stomped all over your heart, took your money, left you stranded, whatever the heck happened. And you are just, I mean, you are distraught. Now you're resentful. And as women, like, we always become resentful when we give so much more than a man in a relationship, and we feel that we have given him so much, and he has, like, it's like we're waiting for him to give us what we're owed out of this relationship. You know, it's been 5 years. It's been, I don't know, however many dollars, me putting in half of this rent or whatever, or a down payment on this house or whatever, trying to build a home with you, a family with you, a life with you, and you're just gonna leave me? Like, it's very hard for women who have invested a lot of time and even monetarily, which you should absolutely never do. I am not a proponent of that, but that is, again, different topic for a different day. But y'all already know where I stand, okay? You know where I stand on that one. Women become very resentful, and it's very, very hard for them to let that relationship go at the same time. The anger, the disappointment, the pain, of just knowing that they will never get that time back. And time is so valuable for us women, way more than men, as we know. And it's just not wise. And I think as a woman, one thing in your single season, like, at least for me, one thing that I've really, really come to feel and to really live by is, like, time is valuable, and time wasted, it is the worst feeling ever. It is the worst feeling ever when you start to feel like, okay, there's too much crazy going on here, too many red flags. I'm trying to give this guy a chance. He's not getting with the program. Okay, am I gonna keep trying for a year and then have it blow up in flames? Like, you know, you kind of have to just be smart. And I've also felt like I would rather spend a year of peace and bliss and stay in my single season and grow in my career or in my business, you know, take care of myself, look good, feel good, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I'm taking time for my self-care and all of that every week. I'm going on vacation, I'm eating good, you know, I'm shopping, I'm like living my life and doing the things that I enjoy doing, going to movies and comedy shows, and just, that's literally my life right now. But just living my life and just stress-free, just happy, just out here, just glowing and happy and thriving. I would much rather have a year of that than a year of me struggling, trying to date this guy who just doesn't get it. Doesn't know how to handle me, doesn't know how to make me happy. It's always a back and forth. It's always a push and pull. It's always, you know, me telling him and then he's telling me, and then we're not cohesive. We're not together. We're not in alignment. It's not supposed to be that hard. It really isn't. And if a relationship is not adding to your life, and making you happier, and you are actually able to feel some sense of like, okay, my life is actually better with this person in it than without this person in it, because, you know, of the relationship that we have. And that's not to say that they're going to be perfect. We've already talked about that. That's not to say that you're going to be perfect. We've already talked about that. And that's the beautiful thing, is when you are in alignment to begin with, but you can grow in love from that point. And that is honestly what I'm striving for. I am not looking for a perfect man, just like I know that I am not a perfect woman, okay? And I know that I'm not going to say that I'm not ready for a relationship. I am ready for the right man to come into my life. I am ready for marriage, but I'm not available to have my time wasted. And I'm not available to, sit here and play this back and forth push and pull game with somebody who's not ready for what I'm ready for, or not looking for what I'm looking for. We're not in alignment. There's no point in trying to, put a, square peg in a round hole and try and shove that sucker in there, because it's not working out. And we're trying to make it work, and it's not working out. I don't have time for that. I'm guys, literally late 20s over here, been there, done that. I am chilling right now. I'm not going to say that I'm not ready, because that would be a lie. Am I 100% perfect? No. Am I 100% healed? No. There's a lot of things that I know once I get in that relationship, once I am in that safety of that container, like we talked about, there are going to be things for me that come up naturally. I'm going to have things. It may not be pretty. This is what we all deal with. A lot of people, actually, I would say even everybody deals with that. It's behind closed doors. On Facebook, they may be looking like the perfect couple. Doesn't mean that they haven't had their moments, okay? Adjusting from being single for an extended period of time to being in a healthy, safe relationship with a man that loves you, cares about you, wants to be there for you, and who really is like that protector, provider type. It is going to be an adjustment, especially for women who are, like I said, have been single for a long stretch of time. You're used to being on your own. That's literally me. Like I'm Miss Independent over here. But at the same time, like, that's not how, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not ready for that, or oh, I'm not copping out. I am honest with myself, and I am saying, you know what? Yeah, I want it. I want a relationship. I want a marriage. I want all of that amazing stuff with the right man. And I also know that I'm ready, but I'm not perfect. And I have my things. And I'm sure he's going to have his things. But when coming in together and being aligned and having that container to be able to grow in love together, that right there is the key. That is the magic sauce from what I've learned and from what I've seen. And you guys know this is a hobby for me. I am always listening to content. I'm always reading books. I'm always talking with people about their relationships, good, bad, ugly, all of it. And this is kind of what I've deduced from the information that I've received. And for me, it makes sense. It makes sense. And even in my own personal experience, it makes sense. So that's really all I wanted to share today. Just a message from the heart and from the mind. Love you guys. And I will see you in the next one. Stay blessed and stay encouraged and all that. Have a fabulous weekend and week ahead. Bye.